Okay, YouTube, I'd like to go over some more details of the HP semi-automatic SS 25 caliber AEA PCP air rifle. Okay, so there's a few things I'd like to cover on it. Ben Tack, I'm sure you guys know him if you know of AEA. Okay, now he'll tell you these aren't slug guns, which you can't really shoot slugs and you can't really shoot anything over, I don't know, I think this one's recommended maybe 36 grain. But I had most of my problems I'm having or had with this gun before you get used to it. You got to kind of get used to this gun, and it's got to get used to you. And then when it does that, then it all works out. Okay, so the thing is the clips. The clips seem to be the weak part to everything. I mean, they're not really weak, it's just how you use them. Okay, so mine jammed a couple times, right? It's full now, so the lever's loose. And I keep it a little loose, but you don't want it too loose. You don't want that thing too loose because the spring might jump out. And when you go to load it, sometimes it gets a little stupid. But it seems to work okay. It's made out of plastic. And the thing is, inside, there's a rotary dial right here, right? That holds the pellets. And when you can see down in there, when it jammed a couple of times, when it jammed on the insides here, on the rotor, it made little burrs. So it made it hard for this rotor to turn. Now I would take this apart, but I like to never got it back together. But when I did take it apart, I took this rotor and I cleaned up all the square edges on it and cut the burrs off with my razor knife and kind of like port and polished it like you would a high performance car intake or manifold or something. And like I said, it's made out of plastic and it's going through an assembly line of 3,000 a minute probably. It's called production. So it doesn't really clean all the errors up, but if you go back and you polish and you prime and you do a few little things to it, you can make a really nice clip out of it and a really nice gun. I haven't had any real problems with it, but there are times when I'm like, well, you know, if I had to pull this on somebody on a home defense situation and it jams, it's got enough solid metal to it, I could probably beat them to death with it, but that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that just tack, 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 you know, no problems. Okay, so this is the semi-auto, right? And the bolt on this one, it doesn't lock down. So it stays that way and it slams back and forth. So that causes like an accuracy thing there. So how I figured out how to do that was just to hold on to it nice and tight when firing it, right? So I got a lot better groups and did a lot better. Okay, so, but you can leave these clips out, okay? You can leave the clip out and manually load in whatever size pellet you want. This piece here to the bolt, that piece there, okay? Now that goes to the bolt, and the bolt lever doesn't go up and down because it's semi-automatic. So back here, this rod here, that's your pin, and your pellet goes in right there. Okay, and this stays here, and this helps with the magazine. But you don't have to put the magazine in it. You can go right here, cock it, right? Put your pellet on there, on that shaft, right there. Whether long or short, it doesn't matter. It can be 36 grain, it can be 46 grain. As long as you're getting it in that cylinder and you don't have the clip in, you don't have to worry about the problems of the clip. You can load it just like you see it without the clip. Okay, being semi-automatic and without using the clip, once you pull that back, it's going to cock. Okay, And when it cocks, you'll be able to put the pellet on the shaft and shove it into the barrel, or you can put it into the barrel. Okay, now when you pull the trigger, this thing's going to kick back. It's going to blow back, and it's going to come back, and it'll already be cocked. So all you have to do is just pull it back a little bit, put on your next pellet. But you can shoot any size pellet in here if you're not using the clip. You can use 46 grain. Whatever you can get, you can shoot in there without using the clip. Okay? Clip makes it really nice, but if your clip won't shoot pellets that you already bought and you're having problems with it, you can just leave the magazine out, clip, magazine, and put your pellets in one at a time and then fire them off. You know, you get a little more accuracy with the slugs, I did. But one of them got jammed in the magazine, and I held a hell of a time getting it out, and it created some burrs, and the rotor in the magazine wouldn't turn freely, so I took it apart and I cleaned it up a little bit, and now it does some shooting. It's the smaller version, small tank. It's not the larger tank 25 automatic. That's the plus. So this one here, I get about 3.5 clips of good shots out of it. I'm using JSB 25s, and they seem to be pretty good, but I like the H&N 20.4 grain pellets. Now they rip out of there, but they're a little bit thin. And what'll happen to them every now and then, I don't know if you can see it on this one, but this is what happens when they get caught up in there. They get all torn up in that magazine. But that's where that pin that you load the pellet on went through and knocked a hole in this thin cap. See the shape of it? It's kind of deformed that way. You can see where the pin pushed it out of whack. Okay. So yeah, it went all the way through it, tore a hole through it. It made a nasty looking mess. But yeah, that caused burrs on the inside of that clip. And it caused a lot of problems. Now here's another pellet that went in there and got stupid. All right, see that? That pin, that firing pin is just coming back fast. It's cycling crazy. So it blew right through this pellet, right? So that's what it looked like. It'll focus on there. But anyhow, it blew right through there. So you can see the hole. Yeah, so that pin right there, that big black one, is the one the pellet goes on. And it blew the hole right through it. And not only doing that, it went in there and it did a little damage to the clip magazine. You could see how it deformed that and pushed that through there and got it all jammed in there. So it did create problems with the rotor clip, rotary clip. But other than that, it's been good, you know. I haven't had too much, and now I can put whatever pellet I want to in there, which is no big deal. So that'll work.